how did you determine the outcomes? How were you able to determine 90% efficacy or then later only 10% efficacy?
Because I track everything. As a marketer, you track everything. Marketing is not marketing until you can measure it. So in marketing, you do a split A/B test and you change one variable and you can determine the impact of that one variable. So as I would go out and pray for people, I actually kept a record. It used to be in writing and then it was just kind of observationally. How many people did I pray for healing purposes? And how many of them did everything disappear? So it was just an ongoing thing that I would track. And when you do that, you recognize real quickly, you're praying for people, you pray for 10 people and 9 get healed. And then you pray for 10 people and 1 gets healed. It's very obvious something shifted.
Okay. Is there a specific way that you were guided in order to pray? How does it work?
Yeah. When are you talking about early on with my gift, or when I started to do it after he took the gift away?
Let's start with the gift, because you were provided the gift and you just chose to pray. Was there a specific way that you were instructed?
There was a pattern, but not a specific way. Now, I want to stress this point that the pattern isn't what made it work. Just like in your clinic and your patients, there's probably a pattern in which you engage with them, but it's only a way to kind of get into the conversation, but it's not the source of their solution. Okay. So the pattern that I learned, that I heard from other people, this is kind of a simple way to get into it, is you thank God that he loves this person and that he wants to heal him. Assuming I'm talking to a man. And then you pray for healing. Lord, I ask that you heal it. And then you use the authority, God's authority that flows through you through prayer, and you command it. Okay. So it would be, let's say someone, a real example, this lady, she was riding a scooter in Walmart. And I walked up and said, hey, I'm out praying for people. Is there anything I can pray for you on? She said, yes, my knee hurts a lot. I said, really, what's going on? She said, I had knee replacement on Monday. So this is Saturday. So this is 5 days post-op. And later, after having my mother going through knee replacement, I know how much pain she was in. I said, no worries. Well, let me just pray for you. Lord, I thank you for how much you love Susan. And I ask that you take all this pain away. And in the authority of God, I command all the pain to leave, all the inflammation to go, and the knee to be healed. I said, check it out. I said, what do you mean? I said, well, stand up and check it out. See if there's any shift. She stands up. There's no pain. She walks up and down the aisle. She does deep knee bends. No pain, everything working. I've actually followed up with her like 6 months later. I said, hey, did that pain ever come back? She said, no, it never did. Totally. And so what you have is a post-surgery wound, basically totally gone. But that was the pattern. As I've spoken to other people who have a similar type of gifting, they do it differently. But that was just kind of my pattern because it was an easy way to kind of a funnel to get into the process.